Hi and welcome to video series tips and tricks. Today's tip and trick is flat collars. So we'll be looking at flat collars, what they're used for and how they're put on and how to know that they're put on correctly. For me, flat collars, generally I'll use them for tethering. So whether I'm tether training or whether I'm tethering a dog outside, for instance, I'll use a flat collar. I tend to use wide ones, and I tend to use the old-fashioned leather collars with a belt and buckle on them. So where they'll do up like this. And the reason being is leather's incredibly strong. It's also very easy to see if there's any wear and tear or damage to it. The buckle fastening is much better than the plastic clip fastening. So it's important that your dog knows how to be on a tether. If you're going to tether, for instance, you don't want a dog that's pulling and lunging all day long, or getting aggro at something outside the fence. I use wide ones just simply because if they happen to do that, it gives them some protection, gives their neck some protection. But again, don't tether your dog if you haven't trained your dog to be on a tether. That's really important. But this is what I use. I don't use plastic ones or anything like that. They're much more prone to break under pressure than the leather ones, in my opinion. So I tend to use these. Now fitting these, Koji, to me, up. Now you see a lot of people, Koji, front. A lot of people will tell you that, collars, they don't put a collar on a dog because the dog gets out. Generally speaking, if a dog's getting out of collar, the simple fact is the collar's not put on properly. Collar? Good. So it goes on, and I'm showing it on Koji simply because being thick of fur, this is harder to tell. So a lot of people put them on and they put them on loose. And they'll talk about a dog eating a collar. You can see here with this collar being on, this is impossible for him to eat this. Absolutely impossible. The only way a dog's going to eat a collar is if it's down here somewhere and hanging. Okay, so you can see here, I can just get 2 fingers under here, and it's very firm. All right, so I've taken into account that he's thick-furred. All right, so I've put that on, so it's nice and firm. It's not struggling. You can see he's really relaxed and really calm. It's not pressing on anything, but it's firm and it won't come off. Good. It's not going to come over his head no matter what. It's just simply not, because it's on properly. His head is bigger than his body, his neck, so it's not coming over. All right, they're not a breed where you have to worry about that if it's put on properly. Attention to me. Collar, good. So in a dog with a thin coat, it's the same principle. It needs to be done firm, and again, it's just so I can just get 2 fingers under. That should be firm. It shouldn't be loose. And again, there's no way that's coming over his neck. Good boy. All right, that's not coming over his head. All right, it's nice and thick. They're nice and strong. And that's really important. So for me, a flat collar, always for tethering. Never use anything like a choker, prong, martingale, harness, head collars, anything like that for tethering. And a flat collar is all we used to use, that or rope in the old days to teach a dog to walk. And they're still fine to do that with, but they don't communicate as well. So your ability to teach your dog to walk nicely on a lead needs to be very good. Otherwise, you're much better off. I recommend people going to something like a martingale collar for walking. But otherwise, a flat collar, it can be used for everything. The only reason I don't suggest them for walking, for most people, they're very difficult to get a dog to walk nicely on. But the only thing I ever suggest for tethering. All right, I hope that helps. We'll see you on the next one.